and welcome to the Hooked on Needles podcast. My name is Maricela, or Mari if you prefer. Today is March 19th, and this is episode 29. Yay! Oh, I get so excited about all these high numbers. Like, maybe one day I'll make it to 50, so maybe next year. Well, we'll see. Anywho, hope you all have been doing well. Thank you so much for those of you who are new to the channel. I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy the content that I have to show you guys. And welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, I greatly appreciate you as well. It's so nice to see the numbers go up. I am not a very... I don't have a lot of followers or viewers or whatever, which is fine. Honestly, it's kind of weird to say that wasn't my intention, because people do, me as making these videos, I do want you guys to see them and share them and stuff. But at the same time, I don't know. It's like I put out the content for those of you who want to watch it. And if there was only 5 of you out there, like, it would be okay for me. I don't know. If there's 500 of you, that's fine too. I'm just saying, I don't know. To me, it's like the people who truly want to watch it will watch it. And I am grateful for you guys. So I guess that's the point of it, is not necessarily the numbers. So anyways, back on track. Hello, this is the Knitting and Crocheting Podcast, Fibery Goodness. I have quite a bit to show you guys. I will probably say this every episode, but I always feel like I don't do enough, and then I do. So I do have quite a bit to show you. I am very excited because I finally get to show you guys what I have been up to with my sister. I had mentioned the nativity scene a while ago, and I haven't really had the stuff with me to show you, but I do this time. So let's get on with it. My finished objects first that I would like to show you is this lovely thing. This is I think it's put on the pattern, it says scarflet. It is a small little scarf, and the pattern called for 3 of these little eyelet repeats. I did 4, only because I wanted to use up a little bit more of my yarn. But it is such a lovely, oh my gosh, it's so blurry. It's such a lovely pattern. It was easy to do. It's not going to break your brain trying to do it. I got this yarn at YarnCon last year, and since then, and I looked at the patterns that were on Ravelry, I have been wanting to make this little scarflet with this yarn. This is alpaca. I don't have the label with me. It is on my Ravelry page. This episode, I usually do my show notes underneath in the description box, but I don't think I'll be able to do that this week or this episode. Maybe I'll go back in later and add it on there, but as of right now, I will just be putting the name of the patterns and where you can find it, if there is a place for you to find it. If not, then I'll just talk about it. But this is the Spring Feverish 1 by Nick Davis. And I don't know if Nick is is it called unisex name? Like, for both boys and girls, but it says Nick Davis. I don't know if it's a guy or girl. Could be either or. So yeah, but I love, this is a gradient. It starts off, it changes, it's lovely. I love it. I had quite a bit left of this like fuchsia-y color. I don't know if you guys can see the color as good as well. My daughter is always correcting me in my English. Growing up, English was actually one of my favorite subjects. I did rather well in it. My camera is being so blurry. I apologize. There will be, I'm pretty sure, a couple of times where I'm going to have to like show you guys some random yarn just so that it will focus back on. But anyways, English was always one of my favorite subjects. I did well in it. I got quite a bit high grades or marks in school. And as I've gotten older, I just kind of forgotten everything that I've learned. And it's just funny to, hear my 14-year-old correct me like, Mom, that's not the proper use of that word. You should be putting this word in front of it, or it needs to be this because you are not using it properly. Which I appreciate because I want to speak proper English instead of, non-proper. I don't know. Anyways, total random off the subject stuff. Anyways, love this pattern, lovely pattern, totally recommend it. You can use, I think it calls like 50 or 100 grams of it. My skein was 200 grams and I think I used about 150. So yes, maybe even more. I don't know. I didn't weigh what was left, but my ball band said it was 200 grams. So I used quite a bit of it. And I will be entering this in my, not mine. I will be entering it in Andy from 10,000 Stitches podcast. She has a March, I think it's March and April, knit along going on. And the color is green. And I think it's, the other thing was like plants, something. Was it like, there's a better word for it, not plants, not herbs, not floral. It was something else. I don't know, whatever it was. Y'all go check Andy out. This is horrible. I'm sorry. Anyway, so this will be going in her thing because she wanted it mostly to be green, which is what I used, the different color greens here. And then I stopped right here because it changed. And then it was just this. And I was like, no, then that'll be too much of that. So anyways, yeah. So this is at least 150 grams, but, and that will be going into that entry. And then another thing I finished were my shorty socks that I showed you guys last time. This is just my standard Judy's Magic cast on. I think I do 14 on each needle and then increased to 64. I did 10 rows of stockinette and then 1 garter, 10 stockinette, 1 garter, and so on until it was time to put in the heel, which I did with a contrast color. I did Megan Williams OMG heel again. I have talked about this heel many a time. It is now one of my favorites. I'm pretty sure I've credited Ross from the Smells Like Yarn podcast. He is the one that told me about it. And thank you so much, Ross, because I love it. And so that's just the one I've been using. I do want to branch out a little bit and try some other ones because I know that depending on your foot and stuff, some might be a little bit better than others, but this one definitely is one that works for me. I really enjoy it. Something that I'm not too bothered with, but I did notice is that I did this sock first, took my notes, and then cast on for the second one once I was done. But my gauge was much tighter with this one. And I was joking with my son that it looks like a fish. I was like, it just needs an eye right there, and then it'll be like, bloop, 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 bloop. Anyways, I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, so the second sock, I followed the exact same pattern, but my gauge, look at that. That is a difference. I'm not too bothered by it, honestly. They are for me, and so I'll be fine with it. But I was really surprised by how tighter my gauge was. How much tighter? How much? Yeah, whatever. However you say it. How tight my gauge was. I was really surprised by it because I didn't think that I always say I'm a loose knitter, and for some reason, this one is not very loose at all. And I don't know that it might be because I've been making a lot more socks that my gauge now is tightening up. Um, but this one was pretty loose, so I'm not sure what happened there. So anyways, I have a pair of socks. I need to weave in my ends, and I did have a little bit of yarn left over, which is this. I have some plans for it. I will talk about later. And those are yarns that I dyed myself. And yeah, and then this other thing, I was going to say the second thing, but no. The third thing that I finished is this little guy. This is a little donkey or a burrito. We named him Pablito. And I call him Pablito, but his real name is Pablito. I say Pablito just to be silly. But yeah, we named him Pablito, and he is a little donkey that will be going on my nativity scene. And the reason I made him was because my sister was kind of bugging me a little bit because she's been working hard on her nativity scene and I haven't. So I was like, well, I'll show you nativity scene. And then here it is, my little donkey. This is a pattern, a video tutorial that I followed. I've talked about this channel plenty times when it comes to amigurumis because they have such beautiful, beautiful things on their channel. It is Esperanza and Ana Celia from, it used to be Tejiendo Peru, but I think if you type in Tejiendo Peru, it'll still come up. It just shows them, you know, the new channel. But anyway, so I followed a tutorial. This, if you are a beginner amigurumi maker, I would say wait a little bit if you want to make this one because the body is made, you make the head on its own and then you make the body. You start up here and you work down and then you make the legs continued from the body. So it's a little tricky, not ridiculously tricky, but it is a little tricky. I was actually telling my sister just to be careful whenever she does it. I know that I will have to help her with it because she is not, she hasn't made many amigurumis. This is her first time making the nativity scene, will be her first amigurumi making stuff. So I will be helping her with that because it can get a little difficult when you're picking up the stitches there. And for those of you that have made amigurumis before, if you want to pick up an extra stitch there so you don't end up with such a big gap or here, you can totally do that and then decrease it back out in the next round. Which is what I think I'm going to get my sister to do because I think you need to pick up 20 stitches. And I did. I followed it exactly to the pattern, but I didn't like that I have those little gaps. So I feel like I could have picked one up here and then decreased it back. So yeah, and then also with his little hair here, I think I'm going to go all the way down here so that you don't see this blob here where I close it off. You do start off here and then work your way back. The eyes were our safety eyes, and my daughter chose those out. I wanted to give him some with a little bit of brown, but she said no, all black was better. And I do need to put a little bit of fringe here, but I haven't done that because I want to finish making my Mary, Joseph, and the baby before I do that so that I have enough yarn. But because I have the stuff here, I get to show you guys my Mary and her baby. This is the one that I had made originally to influence my sister into making hers, because I knew that she wasn't going to get a move on it until she saw something. So I made this to kind of, persuade her. Not, my daughter's like, you can be a little bit of a bully. I'm not a bully. I just persuade her into making the right decision. Anyways, so yeah, so I showed her this. And so this was the first one that I made. I love her. The colors are beautiful. We are using Red Heart Super Saver, and we're also using the Walmart brand. I think it's Maystay or something like that. I don't have the ball bands with me. What I ended up doing is that because we're making the nativity scenes, I was like, you know what, let's just go to the store. We will get the yarn and then I will divide it. So I ended up dividing it, all of the little balls that we got into different little things. And I think each one is like 25 grams or something like that. No, I'm sorry, 50 grams. And so, yeah, that's just what we've been using. And I actually have some that are not completely finished. I made another one. This is just my Marys. I have 2 of them that are done or halfway done. And I don't know why I made 2 more. I know one is going to my in-laws, but then I don't know why I made another one. So I will be giving this one off to someone. I don't know who. But yeah, so while my sister is making one nativity scene, I will be making one complete one for myself. And then I think I'm doing just a Mary, Joseph, and baby for my in-laws. And then I don't know about the other one that will be going to. But these are my Marys, half finished. I need to put in their hair. Their hair takes a little bit of time. You have to put the strands in and all that. So it is quite time consuming. I don't think people realize how much time goes into making an amigurumi. I've heard a couple of people, who amigurumi is not for them, which is fine. I don't think every kind of knitting or crocheting is for everybody. But to me, it's just like a little amigurumi can lighten up your day sometimes, because sometimes we have bad days, and just seeing a cute little something is like, oh, so cute. Okay, just brush off whatever just happened and keep going. So anyways, that's how I take amigurumis. I don't think they need to have that big of a purpose as much as it is just to keep you company and, maybe have it at your cubicle or something if you are at a office, or just have one displayed on your mantle or something, Anyways, yeah, so I will be I need to finish them off. I made my little donkey, and yeah, but I wanted to show you guys something that I realized, and I am a little perplexed by it, I have to say. My sister is one of the people that helped me learn to crochet. A lot of people say, like, the people that have taught me to do stuff are like, well, now the student has surpassed the master, which is how she feels. But I don't know. I don't think I'm much of a master. I just, I do it more often. But anyway, so this is her head. This one is mine. And I don't know if you can tell. You can see where she has connected hers. You can see that it's slightly bigger. And I will show you something where you can really see the difference. We're using the exact same hooks and the same yarn. And somehow she is coming up with like really big things. And I don't know how to explain it to her, because when she's crocheting, it seems as if she is a tight crocheter, because she's making the yarn squeak with the hook, which means it's tight. And but at the same time, her stuff is coming out big, which means she's loose compared to mine. So I'm being perplexed because how is it that she's being tight and loose at the same time? Like, that makes no sense to me. And she's like looking to me for a solution. And I don't know what that solution can be because we're using the same hooks, the same yarn. And I told her maybe she should go down a hook size, but she has trouble already with a small hook. I think we're using a 2.25 millimeter hook for the small, like, because most of the patterns will tell you need a small and a large hook. So we're using a 2.25, I think a 2.25 and like a 3 or a 2.5 and a 3. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they're the same hooks. So my stuff is coming out a lot tighter and stuff like that. Like I said, I know my gauge. I know that to get something that is not going to show the fill, I need to keep my stitches to a certain thing or whatever. So I just don't know how to help her or what to answer. And it makes me a little sad because like she's asking me for help and I don't know what to do. So if any of you have a solution that is not just change your hook size, go down a hook size, let me know. Like, yeah, because I seriously am being baffled by it. Like, I'm like, it makes no sense. I don't understand what's happening. So yeah, but that is what's up with our amigurumi stuff. And then, as you can tell, I finished my Zorzel finally. I have yet to block it and to tassel it. Here are my 2 little tassels. I used some of both of the yarns, not just one, just because I thought, why not? So I did that. I will have to put those on. They will go at each end of it, like so. So it will dangle like that. I have yet to block it, like I said, and weave my ends in. But I did actually, I can truly say I followed this pattern exactly to pattern, which is rare for me. I usually am like, oh, well, let me just modify this section. But no, this time I really did. It is quite long. I was hoping for it to be a little bit wider, like going down, like here. But I do believe that blocking will make it stretch out a little bit. So here it is, all beautiful like. And my sister was the one that I'm doing the amigurumis with. She was like, is that thing really gonna warm you up? Because it's quite a light shawl because it's fingering weight yarn. And I was like, yeah, it totally keeps you warm. Like it will warm you up. And she was like, no, I don't think that that's gonna happen. So I put it on her. Like I was like, oh, we'll just try it on, see what you think. And then we left, like she wore it just as it was, all no ends woven in or anything. And she had to take it off, between our errands. We were running some errands and she had to take it off because she was like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating. Like, how is this very light little thing making me sweat? And I was like, because it's warm, because wool is fantastic that way. But anyways, I did not use up all of the yarn. My sister was suggesting that I finish it off. But I didn't want to do it because at the end, you end up growing more sideways than you do long ways. And I was hoping for it to grow more long ways. I mean, like this way rather than in wingspan. So I was like, no, I'm just going to follow the pattern. So I did. Like I said, I did follow the pattern. I bound off as she suggested. And I did end up using a bigger needle size for the bind off. Just for the bind off, because I did start off a bit tight and I realized that I needed a little bit looser bind off. So I did that. And yeah, so I told you guys I had some plans. So with these leftovers and these leftovers, I need to put them like this because my sister's like, that's the same yarn. It's not. One's darker. One's got more reds on it. Anyway, so I am thinking that with my leftovers of whatever fingering weight I get, I'm going to end up doing, oh, someone's getting pulled over. I'm going to make some Franken socks. So yeah, that's what's going to happen with my leftovers for this year. And I believe that is all of my finished objects for today. Let's jump in to my works in progress. The first, I'll show you guys these first, sorry, are my girly feeling socks. I did make a little bit of progress. I think I did like 3 more repeats. This is where I left off last time. And as you can see, they've grown slightly. It does take my concentration because they do have cables. It is a little bit of cabling technique. So I don't pull them out unless I have peace and quiet and no kid is like needing my attention. So, but that's why I haven't really worked on them much. So, yeah, but I'm okay with making this much progress. I hope to finish them by the end of the month. If I don't, I will not be too upset with myself. It'll be okay. But yeah, so I have these going on and still working on those. And then I cast on for another pair. This is yarn that wonderful, beautiful Megan from Toe Creations dyed up for me last year when she was first starting up with her dyeing endeavors. And I had asked her for some purple. And she was like, oh, I haven't done purple. I'm not sure if it's going to be the color you want. And I was like, it's fine. Just try it out. Which I will be honest, this is the color that I was hoping for. It's like a lighter purple compared. But I was not disappointed at all because it's purple. And that was what I asked her for, was something purple. So I am not at all disappointed. I am so glad that she did that for me. Thank you so much, Megan. And so anyway, so then I was like, I really want to work with the yarn that Megan dyed up for me. So what can I make? And I couldn't really decide on what to make. And life has been a little bit crazy, so I felt like I needed something not so difficult in, what I was doing. So then I just cast on some vanilla socks. And what has really surprised me is that I think I've stated before, I don't generally like things that pull. And as you can see, this is doing a little bit of pulling. But for some reason, I don't care. It is not bothering me one bit. Like, I am just loving the way this yarn is knitting up. And something that I have come to realize that because of this pair right here, even though I took notes and did everything exactly the same, and my gauge was so different, I decided that it is better for me to make them two at a time. So as you can see, here are two socks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful socks. I'm working one from the outside of the yarn cake and one from the inside of the yarn cake. But look at how even they look. So pretty. And I love this light color here in between the darks. It's just amazing. It's so beautiful. I am loving it. Thank you, Megan. I don't think enough thank yous will ever be enough because I truly love them. She actually has a green one. I have a green one. Not her, I do. She has, oh my gosh, again with the she. She dyed up a green one that I had ordered. But that was just like her regular ones that she was selling. And so I decided to get one of those too. And so now I can't wait to make the green ones either because they should end up about the same as these. So I am excited. I think those though I'm gonna make for a family member, not a sibling, a family member. Because I need to get on the whole family member sock making stuff because it's March and December every day gets closer. So I need to do that. And they are being housed in my Megan soak bag. It's not a soak bag, it's a sock bag. And this is Megan from Toe Creations. I hope you can see her label. If you can't, I apologize. I am having some terrible time with this like focusing thing, but anyways, yeah. So that is something I'm working on. And then, like I said, I really wanted to get on this knitting stuff for my family members. And so I cast these on for a male family member. These are vanilla socks. I'm doing 72 stitches. And I am using yarn that I have never used before. It is Lion Branch Sock Ease, finished with aloe vera. And it is in the toffee color. It is a size 1 sock weight or fingering weight, super fine, it says. There are 400 meters or 438 yards. And it says 1 ball makes 1 pair. So I do want to start the next one because I don't want to do them one at a time and end up with completely different socks. So I need to cast on the second one. So I think I'm going to pause here. I started this one on Friday. Today's Monday. So yeah. But I have been on a sock kick, I guess. I have 3 of them cast on, and the reason why I cast this one on for my family member was because I was like, okay, I have 2 of them on the needles for myself, and I just finished a pair. So I need to stop being selfish and cast some on for my family members. So, yeah, I have that, and I had started a shawl that I actually ripped out. I will insert a picture of it here. That was the Close to You. I don't have the designer name with me, but the shawl was called Close to You. And I had used this yarn. This is some yarn that I got at SAF last year from Rock and Strings Creation. Oh, I forgot to say this. Okay. It's called Happy Dance, and it seems to be speckled. It's 460 yards. But anyways, I had started that shawl and realized that maybe that pattern and this yarn dated, but they will not be making it to the wedding because I did not like it. So I ripped it out. And I don't know what to do with this yarn. I really like it. And I have been debating whether to get a new skein of yarn to go with it and make a shawl, or if I should maybe just turn it into a sock head hat because it's so beautiful. And so I don't know what to do with it. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Because I'm at a loss with this one. Like I said, I think maybe I will go get a new skein and try to match something with the speckles and make another shawl maybe. Not another Zorzal, but something like it, you know. But I'm not sure. So we will have to see. And I think that's it. I think that is all I have to show you guys. And yeah, like I said, I will be putting in all of the information for the stuff that I used. I don't have a pattern per se for this. Like I said, it's just a 3x1 rib. Did I say that? I don't know if I said that, but it's just Judy's Magic cast on, get to 72, and then I'm doing a 3x1 riff on the top, 3x1 rib at the top, and then stocking it underneath. When I get to the heel, then it will, you know, all turn into a 3x1 rib up the cuff. But yeah, so very simple. Like I said, no pattern or anything. For the vanilla socks, the same thing. Judy's Magic cast on until I got to 64, and then now I'm just going in circles until I need to put my heel in, which I don't know if I will be using Megan's OMG heel because I have been using it quite a lot and I do like it, but I also feel like I need to branch out and try other ones just in case. I have tried the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which was good. I enjoyed it, and I've done the Afterthought heel. But I'm not sure. I don't know if there are any other short row heels. I have never done a heel flap and gusset thing. Honestly, that's a little nerve-wracking. I don't know if I can pick up the stitches, so that's a bit intimidating to me. But maybe this year is the time to do it and get over it and just see. Maybe I would love it. I don't know. I know that depending on your foot can also depend on what kind of heel you end up liking. And I have to say the OMG heel really fits my foot well. So I really do enjoy it. Anyways, I think that is all I have, like I said, for Yarny Goodness. I will let you guys, I will talk to you guys a little bit about what we were up to the last couple of weeks that I wasn't recording. We all got terribly sick. My kids and I got terribly sick last week. It started with my son over the weekend, last weekend. And then my daughter said she wasn't feeling well. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but for her to say that she doesn't feel well, it's like a big thing because she usually is like a trooper and will just keep going and, you know, give her some halls and she's fine. But she was like, no, Mom, I don't think I can go to school. So she actually stayed home. I think it was 2 days that she just was feeling really bad. And so she stayed home. And then the last day that she stayed home, I got really sick to where I was not able to keep anything down. I was vomiting all day long, which I know sounds fabulous. Sorry about that. But it was it was horrible. So we all got sick. My son and I are still quite congested. My daughter, not so much. She actually lost her voice, I think, for a day or two, and she was just like, I'm trying to talk and I can't. And I was like, it's okay. Sometimes you don't have to say anything. And then I started singing her the No Doubt song, Don't Speak. And she was like, what song is that? I was like, it's No Doubt. You're making me feel old, woman. She's like, you are, mom. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, but we're on the up and up now. We're feeling better. My son, I'm still doing nebulizer on him because, like I said, he gets super congested and it takes quite a few days for him to get over it. Thank goodness he has never gotten any kind of infection or anything because of the congestion. Like I said, he will go quite a few days having to do his nebulizer, but it's all good. No problem there. We have our routine down. Usually I hook him up to the nebulizer and put his medicine in and everything. And that is when he reads. So it's a good thing, I think. The whole, like, for the liquid albuterol to go through and everything takes about 20 minutes. So he can actually finish like a whole book, Magic Tree House, or I think he was reading Magic School Bus, the last book he read. So he is pretty good at that. So that's also a good way to get him to read, is just, hey, let's go do your nebulizer. He's like, oh, okay. So yeah. And no plans really for anything. Husband will be in town this weekend. But I think the biggest plans that we have is we're gonna go get some pho because, like I said, we're all feeling down, and pho always makes us feel better because it's fantastic. I think I've pretty much said that like every time we talk about pho because it is fantastic. Like, oh, it's so good. If you've never tried pho, you're missing out, I gotta say, in my opinion, because it's delicious. Yeah, so anyways. And yeah, right now, like I said, also with my knitting plans, not much. I do want to cast on something a little bit challenging. This one, the Zorzo, was not really challenging. I mean, it's short rows and it's all garter, so nothing too difficult or like, oh my gosh, never in my life have I done this. So I kind of want to look for something a little bit more challenging for myself. My friend just started a shirt for herself, or a top. She started knitting a top for herself, but I don't know if I'm there. I know I knit the one for my daughter that she never wears. We ended up giving it to my niece. And that was okay. It was, although like thinking about it, I was like, it was lace and I can't believe I did it. I was really proud of myself. But yeah, I don't know. For myself, I don't know if that's something I want to tackle. That's intimidating too. As you can tell, I'm intimidated by things very easily. I am always questioning my abilities, which people tell me I shouldn't, but I can't help it. So anyways, if you guys have any suggestions for something like a nice shawl that might be a little challenging but not overly challenging, let me know. I always appreciate your comments, and yeah, so I think that's all I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for um, all of you guys that are here. And like I said in the beginning, I really truly appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is that you're watching. Um, I hope I was able to keep you company because you guys truly keep me company. And so, yeah, very grateful and thankful to you guys. And hasta la próxima.